Hey folks, so in this video, I wanted to talk to y'all about what is it going to take to get my channels to be able to do 8K gaming. So we're going to specifically look at the hardware needed from what I have to where I need to be, all right? So first place we're going to look at is CPU. You know, you're going to need a powerful CPU, right? 8K gaming is not going to be so good on a Cellphone G6900. If you've seen the channel, you've seen I have unboxed 50 to 100 CPUs over the last few years. And so we happen to have one of the fastest right now. That's the i9-13900kf. Obviously, the i9-13900ks is ever so slightly better. Alternatively, we have i5-13600kf, an i9-12900ks, and the i9-12900kf. So all of those are great CPUs. You know, if I was going to pick, obviously I would pick the best one, right? But I do have the ability to at least use these four CPUs to do decent 8K gaming. So we can check that box on that one. Next, need a reliable CPU cooler. We have a liquid freezer AIO 420, right? That keeps the i9-13900kf pretty cool. So we can check the box on having a good CPU cooler. Now, there's other CPUs out there. Any one of these guys that I have on the right side will be adequate for those, right? I think if I remember correctly, liquid freezer AIO 8280 was good enough for the i7 and probably good enough for the i9-13900kf, that is. But any of these would be good for the 12th Gen i9s. So we can say, check that box here. Need a powerful GPU. All right, this is the first place I take a hit, though I will be able to run 8K gaming with what I currently have on the right there. So we do have an RTX 3090, we have a 3080 Ti and the 3080, as well as the necessary HDMI 2.1 cables. Now, any one of those, probably could run Fortnite 8K, depending on what settings you use. May affect obviously the FPS. But realistically, the 3090 is the only one that's probably adequate for 8K gaming, right? So we can't really check the box here because I do believe in the future we need to buy either an RTX 4080 or 4090. And then, of course, at some point, there's probably going to be a 4090 Ti or 4090 whatever, right? Super. Who knows what NVIDIA will come out with. But if we wanted to just about double our FPS, from what this is, and maybe our best bet would be to try it out at 3090 and then go, okay, future upgrade needs to be the 4090, and boom, now I'm out, I don't know, $1,800 or whatever. Another option somewhere in between the two, the 4080, would definitely improve FPS over 3090, but it's not going to be there at the 4090 level. And something slightly better than the RTX 3090 would be the RTX 4070 Ti, which I don't have on here. Man, I don't believe that I'm going to purchase it for the channel because it just is not a significant enough increase over existing GPU. All right, so need a decent motherboard. Here's another place we can check that box. My best, I have an Aorus Z690 DDR5 PCIe 5.0 motherboard. I think new is probably high 200s, low 300s, and definitely my best motherboard. Now, alternatives that I have, Aorus Elite AX Z690 D5 and the Gigabyte UD Z790 D5. Any one of those, will be fine with the CPUs I have. But like I said, we can check the box that we're good to go here on motherboard. Now, RAM, right? So need a decent quantity of RAM, decent RAM speed. I don't necessarily know that you have to have DDR5 over DDR4. I don't think that is realistic statement. Now, obviously, if you had 7,000, 8,000 megahertz, 48 gigs of DDR5, then, if you're running something that fast, that's going to be way better than anything you can get from the DDR4 range, right? And so that would definitely show some improvement. My best, 32 gigs of DDR5 6000. How might I improve this? Well, maybe adding additional 32 gigs might help, right? Probably not going to do that much, but I've never done 8K gaming. Maybe additional RAM really would help. Definitely going from 4 gigs to 8 gigs, 8 gigs to 16, and then not as much from 16 to 32. And I'm thinking there's barely much improvement from 32 to 64, but we could be wrong. Buying faster RAM speed. So I have 6,000. I've thought about picking up some other RAM speeds, to include even 6,200, which isn't much of an increase, but I do have quite a few DDR5 motherboards, and maybe it's time to dump some of the slower RAM that I have. So alternatives that I own, there are 32 gigs of 5,200, 16 of 48, and 16 gigs of DDR4, as well as 32 gigs of DDR4, 3600 megahertz. So, those are all the alternatives that I would potentially stick in other motherboards. But obviously, with 3 DDR5 motherboards, I would want to use my 3 sets of DDR5 RAM over those. But we can check the box here, I believe. Finally, folks, I need an 8K TV, right? What good is 8K gaming without it? I don't know if there's any kind of device out there where you could, plug in or output 8K and then have it downgrade it to 4K, so you could at least tax your hardware and produce FPS for it. So without that capability, we need an 8K TV, right? And so these things aren't cheap. Most of the time you look, they're in the $1,800 range. Sometimes you'll see some deals, $1,299, such as this TCL 65-inch. Yesterday it was $1,299. Today it is back up to, I believe, let me see. I'm actually looking at the other screen. It's back up to $1,650. So alternatives, hey, if I ever see an 8K TV that gets closer to $1,000, I probably will purchase it, right? Now, I feel kind of like an idiot because I just bought a 75-inch TV, and had I thought, a little smarter, hey, why don't we just get the 8K TV? But if you've seen the price between a 4K 75 and a 8K 75, it's huge. So I probably would have had to do something in the 65-inch range. And then on top of that, the TV's mounted on a wall and not, easily accessible in the office, where I have a 4K TV on a rolling cart here, and that's probably what I would do with the 8K TV, so I can move it from one computer setup to another. All right, folks. Well, there you go. That's the hardware I need. Somewhere in the future, we will have 8K gaming on this channel. I don't know how long it's going to be. Obviously, if this channel was more popular, we'd already be doing 8K, right? So keep watching those videos, please, and liking and subscribing. Thanks for checking out this video. Have a good day.